The views on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, you're encouraged to like and share them on social media. It's time for the Sue-EllenSanders Show with Sue-EllenSanders.
Hey, thanks for joining me today. I'm really happy to be here. We've got a lot of stuff in store for you this evening to talk about, giving you a heads up about what's going on the Treasure Coast. Of course, it is just about the holiday season. It's some holidays. And we are going to be getting into a busy season where there are a lot of things going on. And there are a lot of different places to find out what's going on. But your radio station, listening to this radio show, is a good place to start. And so we have with us today a gentleman named Jose Ruiz, who is... I know I didn't say it with the Spanish pronunciation. Ruiz.
It sounds perfect. Just like
no, you're just being nice to me. He is with Legit Cuts, but he is also one of the coordinators for a downtown toy drive that is going on Saturday, December 8th.
Correct. Yes.
Right. And then we're also joined by Tricia Cote and Maria Romo, who are both with Suncoast Health, Mental Health.
Yes.
And their children, not your personal children, but the children that you support at Suncoast are the beneficiaries of the toy drive.
Yes, we are. We're one of the beneficiaries of the toy drive, but it will help with several of our children.
Awesome. Well, to begin with, Jose, why don't you give me the who, what, where, why of the toy drive and the block party, because, of course, there's a block party that is that day. Your toy drive is actually going on now. I mean, people could stop by Legit Cuts or some of the other participating businesses downtown Fort Pierce and donate a toy even today or tomorrow.
Yeah, correct. We try to collect as many toys as we can, so we start collecting now. And the day of the toy drive, December 8th, would be the grand celebration of all the hard work and effort we all put together to help our community. So it's just an amazing time of the year where everyone could get together and have a good time. And we provide a lot of live entertainment and activities for kids and families to do at the toy drive block party.
And, you know, we were talking right before the show, Jose, there are a lot of toy drives and different types of gift drives that are going on this time of year, because honestly, there are a lot of people who are in need, a lot of children that are in need. And the beneficiaries of this toy drive include Suncoast. And why is that? Why have you selected Suncoast Mental Health as one of the people who will benefit from you?
Well, I admire what they do handling with mental health, especially at a young age. When you're able to capture it at a young age and actually nourish it and make it better, you can kind of help you progress as becoming an older individual, and it helps you understand of what kind of illness you have, if you have a mental illness or you just need someone to talk to. And I think that's a big issue in our community, where it's like we don't go to somebody to talk to when we have a problem, and we sort of eat up our insides just keeping it all together. So I respect a lot of people that actually sit down and listen to young individuals that need that help. So Suncoast Mental Health, when I was hosting this block party, I had a caseworker that approached me and asked me if I'll be willing to participate in donating them toys, and I thought it was a great idea. Once I got to meet everyone in the organization, I think they do such a great job in helping our community.
So it started out as a party, as a block party, and then became a toy drive.
Yes.
Afterwards. Tell me how it all started. You figured it was a holiday season, let's do a block party.
So I'm going on 4 years in business, and to me, it's not about celebrating my business. It's about celebrating being in the community. So I was able to come up with ideas. Why not celebrate and raise for a good cause? So it came as an idea, and it actually became an event. So it was pretty cool to just, instead of celebrating as as a just a 4 years in business, I celebrated as fourth annual toy drive, and every year since I've opened, I've always liked to give back, so I always give back with the toy drive.
Who are the other downtown businesses that are also drop-off locations for toys previous to, you're going to close the block down and have a party on December 8th, but previous to that, where else can people drop off toys?
So we'll have several businesses in downtown Fort Pierce that you can drop off toys, as far as Bistro, Selfish Brewery, Legit Cuts Barbershop, and then several areas in that location. And also you can go west of town to Big John's, and we'll have a toy box out there. We'll have some at Dollar General. We'll have some at pretty local businesses in our area as well.
Is there a place like a Facebook event or something that people
Yes,
can go and look at?
If you go to Facebook and you search Legit Toy Drive Block Party, and you'll be able to find us there. And we have an event that we created, and as you can see, it's engaged several people. We have over 400 people interested in going to the event, and it's only been up for about a week.
Yeah, so a lot people are ready to party this time of year, don't you think?
It's a great time to be able to give back, and I think it's the only time of the year that everyone shares a happy moment.
And this is actually, if you're familiar with downtown Fort Pierce events, this is actually the Saturday following the Sights and Sounds on 2nd Street. So that kind of kicks off Sights and Sounds on 2nd Street on that Sunday. And then you have people are going to be downtown. They can be donating the toys, and then the following Saturday you're going to have the street closed off, and you're going to have this special event. What do you expect to have at the event?
Well, we have tons of activities and a lot of entertainment we're going to provide. Thankfully, we will have Santa Claus there at the event, so we'll have like samples with Santa Claus. We'll also have live entertainment as far as like breakdancing from Club Pure Ministries. They do a performance every year.
Right.
The Boys and Girls Club bring out entertainment. The Pace Girls Choir.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I've heard that they were great.
So they've been coming around for the last couple of years. We've done it, so we're expecting them as well.
So this is a family-friendly event, the Black Party.
Yes, it's a great time. Thankfully to all our sponsors like Center State, Peter W. Bush Family Organization as well, help this event become such a success, because we still need to do permitting and all this marketing to make the event for what it is. So, yeah, it's made it such a stressless moment to just hang out and be there with family and entertain our local celebrities, as far as like dancers that work so hard, and every year they compete, so they come out there and have fun.
And the dancing is amazing.
It is, and
they do a really good job.
So Tricia and Maria, for one thing, you are supplying the kids who need the presents. And Maria, I know you're a case manager. You work directly with the kids. You want to talk a little bit about the kids who are going to be benefiting from having holiday presents?
Yes. Well, like I said, I do work with the community. I'm very close with them. We do have around 400, a little bit over 400 kids right now in our county.
Yes.
Not all of them need help, but the majority, is focused in the Fort Pierce area, because that's where the high need comes.
Right.
A lot of single parents that can't afford, a Christmas present for the kids, or families that are just going through stress about the holidays. So those are the kids that we try to focus more on. And of course, they're in services with therapy, case management, and our psychiatric.
Tricia, you are in charge of the case management. I forget your title.
Yes, administrator of case
administrator
management.
of case management. And you can speak to the need for all the different levels of mental health services for children, and that's Suncoast specifically does deal with children's mental health issues, and sometimes it is just a temporary situation that is just caused by stress or a specific incident.
Yes.
But other times it's something that could be more, and really, is it the earlier age that you deal with it, the better?
It honestly depends on the child. We range from anywhere from 4, and we service adults as well. So it really depends on the situation. And like you said, sometimes it can be a certain situation, or sometimes it can be, a deep-seated, mental health issue. With everything going on with social media, with bullying, kids seem to be going through a lot of traumatic issues, a lot heavier than they did back when I was a kid. So just getting the support earlier, it is very beneficial to help these children to grow and prosper earlier. But we do have some teenagers, we have kids that are transitioning from 17 to 18. So we do, we have various children that do need the mental health help.
Well, you mentioned the social media, and you think about this, that there was a time where you and I went home from school and we had a respite, a time where we didn't have to be around anyone from school if we didn't want to.
Correct.
And now it's almost like
they cannot
they
shut
follow
it off.
you home, and they're
Yes.
in your computer, and they're in your phone, and they're in your head.
Yes.
And it makes it where there's not a time where it can be shut off, and there's not a time to take a breath and take a break.
Correct. And it's so tough all the time for these children. So, when Jose had approached us years ago, it was amazing because we're a nonprofit agency, and we don't have our own funds to be able to give out to the community. So someone like Jose coming out with this idea to bring it to the community was amazing, because we were at a loss of where we could go, because there are other resources in the community, but they're limited, and they're age limited too, because we do have a lot of teenagers that need help as well. A lot of our families have not numerous, but maybe a couple children. One could be 3, 4, 5. One could be 16, 17, and a lot of the resources we have only go up to 13 or 14 maximum. So the teenage group kind of is obsolete when it comes to getting a little bit of
Sometimes
Christmas.
gets
We actually got something new we're doing this year to help raise money to fund the teenagers that aren't able to get the toys, because a lot of toys that are donated are typically from
Yes.
newborn to about 8, 9 years old.
Yes.
So we have a tree sale going on this year. We'll have a company out there that's going to set up a tent, and they'll be selling Christmas trees at the day of the event. And the day of the event, if you purchase a Christmas tree there, a portion of the proceeds will go to the teenagers to help get toys and stuff.
That's
So-
amazing. I hadn't heard about that. And I
Yeah,
love
it's a
that
surprise.
idea.
I just wanted to mention it here.
So will you
I'm
give the
surprised. That's
teenagers
awesome. I'm very
gift cards, or how would you?
Yes.
Is that what we're
Yes, with that, and that would depend on what Jose would want to do as far as how to give that out.
A
to
lot
the
of
different children.
teenagers nowadays, they really need like sports equipment, or even if it is just to have something to put music on, and they could get headphones,
is big.
something to keep them entertained. Sometimes it's just as simple as a gift card,
How about iTunes gift cards? Do people
Yes.
still? Yeah.
Yes.
So the gifts themselves, you could give gifts, or you can give cash, and you can make that donation by check or the day of the event. I'm sure that you'll have.
Correct. Yes, and the check can be written off to Suncoast, and we kind of manage it that way. That way we know where it's being tracked. So the fact that they can give a toy, it's so much more simple. But a gift card, like you said, it serves more of a purpose of what they can use it for, as far as like maybe they just need a pair of shoes for Christmas, or maybe a basketball, or maybe a baseball glove, something like that.
And the older children like to go shopping and be more personal and pick it out. So sometimes people think a gift card's not personal for a child, but I know some of the teenagers that we've serviced, they actually like the gift card because it gives them a little control in their life
Well,
of
not-
what they can go get for themselves with that gift.
Not only a little bit more control, but it also gives them the pride that they're not being handed something that is a gift. They don't feel like they're taking something from somebody. They're receiving a gift card that gives them the flexibility to go shopping for
Yes.
themselves. And teenagers are so prideful. It's such a tough time. But you think Jose, I'm glad you mentioned about the young kids versus the teenagers, because you think, well, oh, it must be so meaningful for the little kids to get presents, but the teenagers are equally important, because it could turn their life around. You just don't know how it feels to have a holiday and think that you're not going to get much for that holiday, and then all of a sudden you do.
Exactly.
So Jose, when you first got the idea of giving back to the community, when you first opened your shop, was there a particular motivation that made you want to do this?
Well, I'm originally from Miami, and I've always grew up in poverty. So I know one day when I would be in a position where I can give back, I would always want to do that, because I was the one on the other end where I was being the receiver. So being a receiver, I've always wanted to give back when I come to that position in my life when I can.
So how does it feel to be in that position?
It feels great, because I know it serves a purpose. When you know it's a gift that's not meant to be gifted, they just want to give it to you.
Yeah,
So.
And you don't want anything in return.
No, not at all. To me, it's just the smiles and having a good time, and that's why we do a block party, so we can all enjoy giving back and do it as a family.
So families are invited, and it's not just the recipients that are coming to the block party. It's just anybody who wants to go party.
It's a community.
Go have some fun with Santa.
Yeah, and Santa's related to one of you guys, maybe? Or
he's related to all of us. It's a piece in our heart.
I love that. Jose.
It's something we can relate to.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so Santa Claus will be there.
And he'll have his sled as well.
Yes, that's what I'm very excited about. This year we'll have him there with his sled, so kids will be able to take pictures, and of course with Santa.
Yes.
And for the first 100 people that do show up, we will have like coupons where we get cupcakes, pizza, and beverages. Maybe the first 100 people will get rewarded with stuff that way.
Okay, so a lot of the food and the treats will be free.
Yeah,
for
everything will be free. We're just accepting donations, so that way we can help raise money for the teenagers.
What time does it all start?
It starts at 12 in the afternoon, December 8th. It's on a Saturday.
Okay, so that's Saturday beginning at noon. And what time do you expect the festivities to go to?
We break down about 6 o'clock. And then in downtown Fort Pierce, there's always a boat parade. So we try to keep everybody around. That way they can enjoy the boat parade as well.
That's a great idea. So you can just go ahead and walk over to the bridge and look for the boat parade. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Again, the holiday block party in downtown Fort Pierce, sponsored by Legit Cuts. And to benefit Suncoast and other charities, it's a gift drive, too, so you can come at any time and give your gifts between now and December 8th. December 8th, beginning at noon to 6 o'clock, you're going to have the party going on downtown.
Yes, sir.
I've had Tricia Cote and Maria Romo and Jose Ruiz with me today. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
Don't go away, because we'll be back in just a few minutes with more.
The views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL, but you're encouraged to like and share them on social media. It's time now for the Sue-EllenSanders Show with Sue-EllenSanders.
Well, welcome back. We actually did the first half of the show already, and here we are with the second half. And Stefanie Myers is my guest, and Stefanie wears a lot of different hats, and today she has no hat on at all. But she has hat head because she just took the hat off for Healthy St. Lucie. And what is Healthy St. Lucie? We're going to talk briefly about what it is and how you can be a part of it. And then Stefanie is going to tell us about some of the challenges that are going on and you are going to check back with us in about a month, right before
The end of
Christmas,
yep.
to follow up and see how everybody is doing. You'll get everybody signed up from
Absolutely.
this show. So what is Healthy St. Lucie?
The Healthy St. Lucie Coalition is actually a nonprofit that's made up of about 20 different organizations and businesses in the community who are focused on improving life where we live, work, and play. And one of the primary contributors to that, of course, is the health department. And St. Lucie County Health Department is really striving to get the community more involved so that we can start to have an impact in some of those areas where we need to show some improvement for our health outcomes in the community. So the coalition comes in and they help do the planning and the implementation for our community health improvement plan. And one of the big initiatives that we've had this last year, it has been the Billion Steps Challenge. What it is it's an
That's a
initiative.
lot of walking.
It is a lot of walking. The fortunate part is that we don't have to do it solo. It's we do it together as residents of people who work in the county.
Okay.
And we have about I think we're up to about 1,220 different people who have signed up for this. We have 120 teams. So those folks that are competitive are out there competing against each other to try and get 1 billion steps in cumulatively as part of the community.
What team am I on?
I'd have to look it up. So
Oh, okay. You
remember.
don't know offhand?
I don't.
So I
1,220 people
joined
remember.
it. And I want you to know that if you join, you can do it completely online. You
Yes.
don't have to go anywhere, fill anything out. It doesn't cost anything. You can just join online. And if you wear a Fitbit or some type of tracking device, you can sync that tracking device.
You don't need me for this show, Sue-Ellen. You got this.
I couldn't do it without you. So you could just sing, and I tell you, because the first time I did it, I didn't do it right. Evidently, there was like an extra button that I was supposed to push. So you have to sync your Fitbit, and then you tell the computer that, and then you sync it
Then
on
it
your
syncs
actual
automatically, right?
device. Yeah.
And some people, that gets intimidating when they start talking about devices and all that. The joy is that you can actually do it manually. And we have some people who say, well, I don't walk. I'll play tennis. I'll go bowling. Well, the joy is that the application that we're using, it's called Walker Tracker, actually allows you to convert activities. So if somebody goes out and does gardening for 30 minutes, because, you know me, I've been known to do gardening a lot, I can enter that into the
That's
system.
a different hat.
That's a different hat, yes.
Yes.
And it will enter that will transform those into steps for me. So if I don't have a Fitbit on or something like that, then I can actually go in and add the activities. We had somebody who was doing CrossFit training. And she's like, oh, I don't wear anything. And I'm like, but you can put the time in that you committed to that.
Okay, so can I go back and put the things that I missed in there?
You can.
Because, spin class I
Yep.
didn't put in.
All those things, yep.
Doing everything but steps, because nothing else counts on my Fitbit unless I put it in manually, and I
Exactly.
don't do that.
We would love for you to go back and do that. That would certainly help get
How
us
far
that much
back can I
closer.
go?
I don't remember when your enrollment date was, but I'll find
about
out. and I'll let
about
you
a
know.
month ago,
Okay.
yeah. So
So
up to, yeah.
From the date that you enrolled,
Yes.
you can always go back and add those components
Okay.
in. So, it
So
helps.
I can put in, so how about house cleaning?
Yep.
House cleaning,
Housekeeping's on there.
vacuuming? Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm taking a whole lot of steps there.
Zumba classes. I've had some people say they put their Zumba classes in. Makes a big difference.
Mowing the lawn.
Yep.
That's got to
Now,
be
it doesn't
big.
do you much good if you're riding lawnmower, but if you're walking and pushing, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we're old school
Oh,
in
yes, we
at
are in
my
my
house.
house,
I say we like I'm the frog in my husband's pocket. He is old school pushing the lawnmower, and I sent the information over to him to join. So hopefully that he's joined.
Yes, he has.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
he has.
see,
Absolutely.
This is Stephanie's checking on us.
No, because I look at the thing and I know the Sanders family. So
Yes, yeah.
That's how that works.
So did Jake join yet?
I think he did actually.
Okay, well,
I
you
think he
c-
did. If
you-
not, I'm going to go back and
Yeah,
nudge him.
you
so.
need to nudge him. Yeah.
But it's really simple to sign up. They can go right to Healthy St. Lucie, so that's healthy STLUCIE.walkertracker.com, and that will get them right to the webpage. They can just enter. They can even not identify themselves. They can put an email in, and they can name themselves John Smith, okay, or whatever they want to name themselves.
So
it's
Big
anonymous.
Brother doesn't
No,
have to be
Not
watching
at all.
you.
Not at all.
You have a lot of internal competitions going on, and
We
you
do.
have different organizations who have their own team. You want to talk a little bit about that?
We have gotten a huge amount of support from the school district. City of Port St. Lucie, Mayor Orvek has been one of our biggest champions out there trying to really get people healthier. And that's really the whole point of this challenge is that we as a community, we actually have more higher sedentary rates for adults than we do the state average.
You know why? Is because we don't have a lot of public transportation and we don't have a lot of sidewalks to walk. We're not a walking city. We
so
are
get
a car city.
Yeah.
No, I get it because my daughter lives in DC now, and when we are up there in that area and in Alexandria, we literally have 3 times as many steps when we're up there.
And that's just in general, that's about planning, and that is a component that Healthy St. Lucie is looking at, and working with Transportation Planning Organization and the cities, how can we actually provide better access to transportation simply by making things safer sidewalks, adding bike lanes, all those different components. But the idea is to get us all moving more and to facilitate all the ways that we need to do that, because our three leading causes of death are cancer, respiratory disease, and heart disease. And of course, what are the things that we can do? Improve nutrition and get to move more. If we move more, we're going to increase our likelihood of reducing the impact of those diseases.
Well, people laugh at me when I park at the grocery store, and I deliberately park far away from the grocery store. But think about it. If you go to the grocery store 2 or 3 times a week, or you go to Walmart or shopping downtown, and you deliberately park just a little bit farther away, or park in the first space you see instead of circling around in your car, walk to your location.
And it makes a huge difference. I will tell you, when I started this challenge, I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I was doing about 2,000 steps a day, because what do? I sit in front of a computer most of the day.
So 2,000 steps a day not being good?
No, not at all.
Okay.
They recommend that you get at least 10,000 steps in a day in order to be at your healthiest. And then, of course, there's some people out there that do many more than that. But
I'm looking.
I wanted to...
Not looking at my watch. I'm looking at my Fitbit.
Oh, she's looking at her Fitbit. Okay. I wanted to make sure that as I got more attentive to it, well, now I'm getting at least 6,000 a day. And there'll be nights I go home and my husband's like, you want to walk the dog so you can get your steps in? I'm like, oh, I'm on it. So just paying attention to the number of steps. Yeah, I know you blow me away every day.
No. But I'm well over 2,000.
Yeah,
let's say.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you for rubbing it in.
Who's winning? I'm at 16.7.
Yeah. Yes, you moved. Dear.
Okay.
There's no doubt about it. We want you to keep doing that
okay.
too. So just by paying attention to how many steps I'm getting, and doing small things like parking further away, and being able to, for example, if I am doing housework, if I pick one thing up that needs to go to another room, I don't wait to take it when I gather up a bunch of things. I take it one at a time because I get more steps in. And
well, that's a good point. But then again, if you're me and you're doing it one at a time, then you're going to take the remote control, leave it in the laundry room, take the clothes from the laundry room, leave them in the kitchen.
I'm so glad other people do that. I hit 50 and it was like downhill from there.
And then I got to go back into the kitchen to figure out what I went into the laundry room to get to begin with.
At 16,000
Yes.
steps. There it is. I get it.
Okay, yeah.
But little things like with a Fitbit, it'll actually tell you they want you to get it 250 steps in per hour. So if you haven't got your 250 in, it'll actually buzz on your wrist.
It'll tell
and let
you.
you know.
Yes.
So then it's like, oh, I got to get up and I got to go to the copy machine, or I'm going to go out and walk around the building just to make sure that I'm up and moving. And what they've found is that people actually do better by getting up and getting that little bit of exercise in every hour. They're more productive at work.
It's true, because you're getting that your blood flowing, and so when the blood is flowing, it's also going to your brain.
Yes, we hope.
Well,
we hope.
Yes.
Yeah, and it really does. It helps people stay more focused.
Uh-huh.
And, we get tunnel vision when we're sitting and working at a computer, or some of those things. And that little break.
Step away from the desk.
Well, one of the other projects that we do with Healthy St. Lucie is the 5210 plan, which they're doing in the schools, which is 5 fruits and vegetables every day. And I'm going to forget some of these here. No more than 2 hours of screen time, okay? No more than 1 sugary drink. No, 0 sugary drinks.
Oh, because there had to be a 0 there.
I know, and I'm forgetting what the 1 is. Hold on.
1 healthy person.
No, I do this every time I'm trying to go through this. Anyway, so really trying to promote that. Well, that comes back to less screen time. Well, as adults, we don't always have that luxury. But we hope that we can get into that increasing our movement a little bit more just by doing simple things like parking further away. I've been known to take an extra cart in when I'm in a parking lot just to make that sure that I'm getting some extra steps in, some little things.
The other thing, too, I noticed, if you work in an office, you think, oh, well, there's nothing that I can do to get more steps because I'm working in an office. But how many of you email or send a inter-office message to the person who is in the office or the cubicle next to you rather than get up and walk over there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we become an office.
We're sedentary. There's just no doubt about
yeah.
it. You know, it's the simple way to get up and do things, and or not get up and do things. So anyway, we are nearing the end of this first year of the challenge. We will be doing it again next year. So we're looking to try and get as many people enrolled now. So we're ready to gear up.
So is it going to end? The totals are going to end at the end of this year?
Well, our goal is they're not going to end, but our goal is to reach 1 billion steps as a community by December 31st.
Okay, so we got to get on the stick.
We do. We're really, really close. We've got to get about 4 million steps in a day. So we're trying really hard to get people engaged and enrolled so that we can continue to boost that. There have been some people who have trouble syncing their devices. We can help with that. You just go to contact at healthystlucy.org. Send us an email. We'll be happy to call you, and we'll figure out what the challenge is there.
How to sync it.
Yep.
Or you can, if you know you're walking a mile a day, whether you have a Fitbit or not, you can put that in manually that you're walking a mile a day, and it will convert it to the number of steps that you need. So the school system is part of their program, and they're sending the information out to school employees and the teachers and students, and communicating to the administrators. Then you have the different law enforcement agencies that are also involved.
Fire district.
Are they challenging each other, maybe?
Well, we are actually working together to provide these mini challenges. You know, one of the things that happens is some people get in a rut, and we really need to find a way to motivate them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're running.
Competition will do it.
It does.
Yeah.
We're running mini challenges every month. The next one starts on the 15th and runs through the 28th, and it's called Turkey Trot. It's not the big Turkey Trot real race. This is an online competition.
Yes.
And each of the milestones that you hit will have a health tip on how to stay healthier during the holidays, and how to keep that weight under control, some of those components. And you would not believe the competition that goes on out there with some of the teams as they work to try and make sure that they're getting ahead of their other departments and their friends even. You know, really trying to motivate each other and keep things moving. So,
my husband liked to, when we first got Fitbits, you know, he liked to challenge me. He just does it with his phone, and I don't like to challenge him because he just has to, like, he'll go, I'll walk the dog. No, I'll walk the dog. Here, let me walk the dog.
Well, it's funny that you say that. I had somebody the other day tell me they were riding in the back of a bus one afternoon, and they couldn't figure out why their wrist kept buzzing, and they discovered that every time they hit a bump, they were getting steps in.
Oh,
and
that's
I'm like,
good.
oh, so I shouldn't be telling people that because then they'll fudge their numbers. But anyway, you know, we do these mini challenges. This next mini challenge, which starts Friday, is sponsored by Cote Botanical Gardens. So the sponsors that are really out there keeping us going have been pivotal. You know, last month it was sponsored by Starbucks. So we're always looking for new sponsors to do the mini challenge. A little caffeine, right? But our big sponsors have been the Department of Health. We have Fit Fixins, which delivers home meals.
Tiger.
Yeah,
Clyde
Tiger.
Yeah, he's the
great
best.
Stuff. Shock Socks, which they do multicolored socks out there and a lot of printing and other things in the community. Martin Health Systems has been huge in being able to help support us and keep us moving forward with the billion step. And, you know, we're looking, the other one I almost forgot was Tobacco Free Florida. They've been another huge proponent because they know that people who exercise and move more actually do a better job of quitting smoking. They have fewer cravings, all those components. So I'm really looking forward to having some new collaboratives going on for next year. We will be kicking off January 2019. We'll be having a Fit Festival event to try and make sure that that's people are aware of what we're doing and being able to kick off the new count. So.
And you're going to come back in December, and we're going to talk some more about some of the things that will be coming up for the new year. But I just want to let you know, as part of the running community, that if you are putting together a race or your organization is putting on a race, you can partner with Stefanie and the Healthy St. Lucie, and she'll send out information to her email list about your event, and you can also use your event to step up and add those steps. For example, tonight, the Sugar Plum race that's taking place tonight, that's underway now, partnered with you, and some of the other local 5Ks or 10Ks or other events, they can partner with you as well, and you'll send out information about their
But the best part is if they get permission from their people who register, they can send us the email list, and we can pre-register all those individuals. They get an invitation, so it's real simple for them to be able to get that, and it makes sense. If you've got people who are in healthier shape, you're going to have more competitors going on.
And especially if you do run or walk with some type of fitness device, it's a no-brainer for you.
And even if you don't, I started out just carrying my cell phone, and we have applications on the phones that allow us to do that.
Stefanie, the Billion Step Challenge is going to be continuing next year, but next year we hope to get 1 billion for 2018 and then another 1 billion.
We hope to get more than 1 billion for 2019.
Okay, because it's easy for it to add up. Yes. And it makes you feel good about yourself to be able to see what you're accomplishing.
And it's a great way to do weight control, but it's also a great way. We've got walking clubs that are walking in their communities, and they feel safer doing that. But having somebody to walk with also really helps motivate you.
It does, because it's easy to go back to bed if it's early or raining or something like that. But if you're meeting someone, you're more likely to come out and do it.
Accountability piece.
Yes. Stefanie Myers has been my guest. She's with Healthy St. Lucie, and we're learning about the Billion Step Challenge. And you can be a part of it, too, by going to healthystlucie.org.
Yes, or healthystlucie.walkertracker.com.
.walkertracker.com. And we'll have that information here. And again, like I said, we'll have Stefanie back next month to check on our progress. Thanks for joining me tonight. We'll see you next week with more.
The Sue-EllenSanders Show. Archives can be seen on YouTube. Just go to WPSLTV.com and click on the Sue-EllenSanders Show for archives of this show. And if you want to share them, try using a hashtag like events along with it, won't you?